reading the Bible. How joyous it is reading all the good promises of the Lord. You can do it, son. Join them on the rink and play with them and have fun. It's very enjoyable. And he joins them to play and falls down several times, breaks his leg, hurts his body. He quits and comes back to the father and says, I quit. I'm no longer doing this anymore. What was the mistake the father did? Why must there be a falling away in the last days? Why must people lose their faith? What is the mistake the interpreters of the Bible are doing that at the end of it all is going to make many people to flee from the faith? The believers of old were persecuted, just as believers would in the last days. However, in their time, when they were persecuted, the faith did not die. The faith continued. So what will happen to us in the last days? That will make people lose their faith. Acts chapter 11:19. Now they which were scattered abroad upon the persecution that arose about Stephen traveled as far as Phoenicia, Cyprus, Antioch, preaching the word to none, but unto the Jews only. You would think that because they've been persecuted, they will lose their faith, or they will stop preaching Christ at all. No, that is when they preached Christ the more, when they were persecuted. But the Bible says in the last generation, look, don't be deceived. That day is not gonna come until the first falling away and the man of sin is revealed. Why is this case different in our time? Why? What did the writer know of the last day saints? Now there are countless verses such as these, but let's just use only this one for time's sake. 2 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 4. Great is my boldness of speech toward you. What is he so bold about? That great is my glorying of you. He knows that he is going to get a kind of glory. What kind of glory is that? I am filled with comfort. I am exceeding joyful in all our tribulation. Now, if he was in our generation, he will be rejected for saying this, that we are going through tribulation, and you are saying that you are filled with comfort, that you great is the glorying of you. Man, you will be stoned, you will be insulted, you will be cancelled, and you will be blocked. I understand our genuine love and impatience to want to be with the Lord, but there is something about this our God. He is long suffering, meaning he is patient. And you also need to have this fruit of patience. If you don't have patience, you cannot walk with God. Enoch, he walked with God and he was not, because he was patient. You need to be patient. God is going to come, we know. He's going to live with men here on earth, we know. But if you don't have patience, you cannot live with him. Have you seen, for instance, how you pray and you're like, prayer is slow, God is slow, he takes such a long time to answer, that you pass somewhere else for shortcut or for quick answer. You are impatient. You cannot walk with God. When he comes, you cannot dwell with him. He is long suffering. So you are being turned into a gold in the sight of God, but you don't know. Romans 5:3. And not only so, but we glory in the tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience. That is why they were happy. This is glory, but you don't know. How is this glory? How is this glory that we must suffer? How is this glory? I know and I understand you perfectly well. Can you be patient? Can you be patient? Ecclesiastes 8:17. Then I beheld all the work of God, that a man cannot find out the work that is done under the sun we live in. Why are we even here to be burnt by the sun? Because though a man labor to seek it out, you will do everything in your power, in your capacity, in your capability to understand the plan of God for you here on earth. So God, why are we here? Why are we going through this? Why are we suffering like this? Look, great men have sought this answer and they did not find it. Not even the wisest man on earth. Yet he shall not find it. Yea, further, though a wise man think to know it. Wise people claim to know it, to know the full plan of God. Yet shall he not be able to find it. You cannot understand God. Today's video is about the realm of politics as one of the kingdoms of this world in the hands of the devil in these last days. But how can I go on with it unless I first undo that candy they gave to you to persuade you into the faith? For too much candy maketh one sick, and rather take medicine which may seem bitter, it undoes every sickness. Candies are for little children, but when you come in as a beginner in the faith, please don't remain a kid. Instead, grow up. Grow up. You may give sweets to kids, but give the bitter medicine, not the sweet medicine, the bitter medicine, unto the grown up. Jeremiah 29:11. Here is candy. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, sweet medicine, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Now, if I do not give you the medicine that goes along with the sweet candy, don't you think I would be an evil man, knowing that this candy, too much of it, will make you sick? It is about an end, and that end is peace and not of evil. That end is peace and not an evil end. If there is an end, there is a process towards the end. I would be evil to give you a view of the end without giving you the process that leads to this end. We all like gold. Beautiful, right? God's creation is so beautiful. Can't you see? Who doesn't like this? But before it became this, it was like this. And many of this was gotten out from the earth to extract this gold from it. And then it went through this process before we finally got the beautiful gold you saw. As far as we are concerned, look, every man's faith will be tested by fire, whether you like it or you don't like it. We can all put our heads in the dust of the ground and pretend like nothing is happening on the outside, but it doesn't change reality. So, how can we know the process in this Bible verse? For I know the thoughts I have for you, and it's the thought of peace and not evil, to give you an expected end. Wonderful. What is the process? You see, before this verse, if you go up, you will see, for they prophesy falsely unto you in my name. I have not sent them, saith the Lord. For thus saith the Lord, that after, before the expected end, before the thought of peace, you need to go through 70 years. It must be accomplished at Babylon. You know Babylon. It ain't no good place. The people of God were enslaved there. They went through trials and temptations in Babylon. Do you not know that Mystery Babylon will appear in the last days? Do you not know that you will go through trials and temptations? Do you not know that Babylon is the habitation of devils, and the evil spirits, foul spirits, demonic spirits, alien spirits are going to possess our world government, leaders, and they will do very nasty things towards the church. When will Christ come? After the 70 years be accomplished at Babylon. You know it as the 7 years of the tribulation. I will visit you. When does Christ come? After the tribulation of those days. That is when he will come. That is when he will come. And when he comes and perform my good toward you, in causing you to return to this place, back to Jerusalem, New Jerusalem. Before verse 11, which says, for I know the thoughts that I think toward you. What is the meaning of 70? Everyone knows that 70 is 7 times 10. So it's made up of 7, it's made up of 10. 7 is perfection. 7 represents perfection. Everywhere you go, it's the same. You can check it out, it's perfection. 10 means whole, to be made whole, or the entirety of something, or all of something. So it's completeness, perfection and completeness. You are going through a process that will make you perfect, and until that process is complete, I am not coming. The end is peaceful. Can't you see? So before the end, there is no peace. Why is it that when he comes, he wipes away tears? Because they cried. And until that period is over, there is no wiping away of tears. The sun will no longer burn them, because the sun will be burning them in the process of perfection. You see, no more death. You see, all these things we have to understand, that we are being turned into the fine gold, the refined gold. I have been sent to bear the fruits, 3 main fruits. Number 1, patience. Number 2, persistence. Number 3, resilience. These are the 3 fruits you need for these last days. You need it. 2025 and beyond, you need them. You need these fruits. If you don't have patience, if you don't have perseverance or persistence, if you don't have resilience, you will fall, you will not stand. 2025 and beyond, where would you be? James chapter 1 verse 4. But let patience have her perfect work. Let patience have her perfect work. Perfect work, 70. Then he's going to break the 70 down. That ye may be perfect, 7. And entire, whole, completeness, 10, 70. Wanting nothing. Wanting nothing. Don't lack anything. But before that, let's read from verse 1. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith works patience. Looks like you need this before Christ comes. So bear the fruit of patience. Bear that fruit of patience. If you don't know, or if you don't have the wisdom, which is like the seed, ask God for it, so that by the time he comes, you have the fruit of patience with you and don't lack anything. Okay, verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, make sure you don't lack wisdom. Make sure you don't lack understanding. Make sure you don't lack knowledge. Bear fruit of patience. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that give to all men freely, and he does not withhold, and it shall be given him. Okay, so ask God for wisdom. God give us the wisdom of patience, of the seed of patience, that we may bear the fruit of patience. So what really went on in that Babylon, where they are supposed to complete the 70 years? Daniel chapter 3. My beloved brethren, you remember the story of King Nebuchadnezzar and his golden image or statue that he built in Babylon, right? Then verse 3, then the princes, the governors, the captains, the judges, the treasurers, counselors, sheriffs, even police. Today we are dealing with the realm of politics, right? And how it is a useful tool in the hand of Satan in the last days. And all the rulers of the provinces, oh wow, were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Pay attention, verse 4. Pay attention to the verse 4, please. Look. Then an herald cried out, to you it is commanded. It is a commandment. What kind of commandment is that? O people, nations, and tongues or languages. Verse 5. That at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye shall fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up. Verse 6. And whoso doesn't fall down and worship shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Did you know that you will be put in a tight corner like this someday? Did they tell you that? It's coming. It's coming. Maybe not the same, but it's coming. In its own form of our generation, it is coming. But don't be afraid, okay? Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Like they were not afraid. Don't be afraid. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were not afraid. They were actually put into the fire. We know the story already. And guess what? Our Christ was here with us throughout the period of the trials, temptations, tribulations, persecutions. He was there with us. But that's not why we are here today. The verse 8 is very important. Wherefore at that time certain Chaldeans. Oh, really? The Chaldeans came near and accused the people of God, the Jews. They spake and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. God forbid. Verse 10. You, O king, has made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the musical instrument, right, shall fall down and worship the golden image. And whoso fall not down and worship, that he should be cast into the burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews whom you set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded you. They serve not your gods, nor worship the golden image which you have set up. And then we all know what happened next. They were put into the fire, and the Lord appeared right there and he never left them. He was there with them, right here, right in the period. He was right there with them. Hey, when was he right there with them? After the test, after the temptation, after that, and they were put into the fire. That is when he came. And it coincides with what he is coming with, because he also is coming with the fire, and he shall consume the people, the wicked people of the earth. But guess what? We will not be harmed by this fire. You understand? But my problem is, who are these Chaldeans? That tells you that it is the Chaldeans that advised the king to do this. Those who planned or plotted to catch the Jews, knowing very well the Jews will not bow, knowing very well the people of God will not bow. These are the same ones who gave the idea to the king. It was a trap to entrap the Jews. This is Chaldean in Hebrew. It's Kashdim, and the root word is Kashad. Kashad. So it's made up of the Hebrew letters Kaf, Shin, and Dalet. Kaf represents the palm of the hand, its power, its force. The next is Shin, which is fire. Wonderful. Have you ever heard the phrase, the power of the sun in the palm of my hand? That is the spirits of the Chaldeans that is speaking. That is the spirit of the Chaldean that is speaking. One who always wanted to rise above all the stars and become all powerful. The spirits of the devils. And Dalet, the door or the path. These are those that shall open the door that leads to destruction. These are the ones that will unleash hell onto the earth. Destruction is what they aim. So, the actual reign of the Antichrist is supposed to be 3.5 years, not 7 years. His appearance or his coming, what shows that the Antichrist spirit has arrived, is distraction. So the war, rumors of war, pestilence like coronavirus and other diseases, and fighting amongst the brethren and other kingdoms and all that. All these are signs. Famine, drought, and all that. All these are famine, increase in disasters and all that. I mean, all these are signs that the Antichrist spirit is here or is around. Because in Hebrew, Antichrist is star, T-S-A-R, Tsar Hamashiach. Means the Hamashiach that comes along with sorrows or suffering or pain. Then he comes as a kind of problem solver to stop all these sorrowful happenings. But when he comes against the church. When he comes, he is coming in the name of removing the church, like accusing the church for all the bad things happening. You are going to be blamed for the earthquake. You are going to be blamed for the war, whether nation to nation war or religious war. You are going to be blamed for the pestilence. I hope you are listening. You are going to be blamed for the hunger, for the disasters. You are going to be blamed. Because when all these things are happening, they are going to be watching and saying that, the God of the Christians says he is angry with what we are doing, and that is why he's causing all these disasters. They are going to make laws to ban churches completely all over the world. All right, so this is it. Revelation 13. Let's read from verse 4. And they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beasts, And they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things, and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth and blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle. Church, and them that dwell in heaven. Verse 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. So he's going to blaspheme against them that dwell in heaven. Wow. Anything is the same thing. Anything God, he does not like. Anything God, he does not regard. Anything God, it's in the Bible. He does not regard Yahweh Elohim, God the Father. He does not regard the family members of Yahweh Elohim. That is why he's blaspheming his name, because his name, all the names of God that we know, are actually family members of the Yahweh Elohim. He does not regard the angels that God sent. The seraphim he does not regard. Cherubim he does not regard. He does not regard anything. This guy is like an atheist or something. So verse 7, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds, tongues, and nations, like King Nebuchadnezzar. How do you make war with the saints? For God has not given us the spirit of fear. Okay, so how do you overcome the saints? By putting fear in their hearts and causing them to scatter. So what is the difference here? It was tried in the days of the apostles. The apostles were not overcome with fear. In our days we will be overcome with fear. In the days of Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, they were not overcome with fear. In our days we will be overcome with fear. Why? Because they did not give you the medicine, but only gave you the candies. So he will make a decree. Verse 8, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him. Can you see that? Whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. Now when you look at Revelation 21 verse 8 carefully, before we start from the beginning, okay, what Nebuchadnezzar did, what the Antichrist and his false prophets will come and do, are these things: abominable, the abomination of desolation in the holy place, abominable, murders, they will kill. Also whoremongers. Now whoremongers are also like the idolaters. Whoremongers are those that stop worshiping God to worship false idols. You are whoring against God. This is a sin against God. Okay? And sorcerers, pharmakia, those who are always creating the pestilence, the viruses. Every year now there's a new virus. Those who are playing with the human body and the human genes, sorcerers. Now, and all liars, because they lie. There is no God, they will tell you. He shall have no regard of God, they will tell you. Look, all these are lies. The Bible is a fabricated story. They will tell you all manner of lies. And because you believe, you will be unbelieving. And because you are fearful, they will overcome you with what? Fear. I told you, right? Because you are fearful, you will do the abominable by bowing down unto the idols, which will make you a whoremonger and an idolater. Because you are fearful of being killed by them. So, and look, all those who fall prey to the traps, including the trap setters, all of you are going into the lake of fire. Remember, when I say you, I don't mean you, okay? I don't mean you. I'm speaking generally. All right, so here is the explanation of the previous verse, right? That the fearful and unbelieving whoremongers, idolaters, liars, murderers are all going to be cast into the lake of fire. This is an explanation of it. Revelation 19:20. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image, all of them, right? These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. So this means when you become fearful, then it means your name is not in the Lamb's book of life. When you are afraid of what the government leaders are about to do to you, so that you lose your faith, so that you worship idols, so that you quit God and instead chase after the mark of the beast, which you cannot buy and sell with, which is a new form of money. Can you see that? Because of the miracles they will do, and then they will tell you, push a kind of message that will make you doubt God's existence, that they came from above and that there is no God and all that. Demons, evil spirits, aliens will possess government leaders to attack the church very soon. As we are speaking now, they are planning to ban churches. They are coming up with laws to ban churches. A country is afraid that their country will soon become a Christian bound country, so they will not be able to do their foolish things anymore. They are scared. They are planning to ban churches. As we are speaking now, they are thinking of it. I see it. They are planning a law to ban churches in that country. It will spread all over the world. Now, as they are coming up with all these laws, please listen to me. It is because they are afraid of you. They want to ban the churches because they know what you can do. When you come together in love, unshakable, unsplittable, the things you can do and the things you can command to come out from heaven to destroy them, they are afraid of that. They know you can make fire to come down from heaven to destroy them, as seen in the camp of the saints in the book of Revelation of Jesus Christ. You can do things that will hurt them, so they are scared of you. And because you don't know the power you have, they will overcome you. Because the pastors, the preachers, they are good, okay, and they don't want you to fear. But when you do that and the reality catches up with the people, you are not doing more good to them but more harm to them. That's the problem. That's the problem. Let them know what they are going to face and let the people prepare for it. Let the people prepare for what's to come, and let us come together in the truth, not in lies, to attract people into the Christendom. Quantity is not over quality. Quality is over quantity. Think about this. What's the use of having more people, and yet when the test of time comes, they all flee? Who will be held accountable? You. It is better to have a few and ensure they all pass the test that is to come. It is better that way. You shall receive a reward. Those who had a few, those who had 2, did the Lord not make them rulers? Those who had 5, did the Lord not make them rulers? So think about it. You don't need to have 5,000. You don't need to have 1 million. You don't need to have 1 billion people to be recognized by God. You only need 5 and 2 and even 1. Just that the 1 was foolish by hiding his revelation. Alright, now let's go to the verse 9. If any man has an ear, let him hear. He that leads into captivity shall go into captivity. He that kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. So this is the patience and the faith of the saints. This is the patience and the faith of the saints. This is the 70, the 7, which is perfection, and the 10, which is completeness. Let it work. Let patience work. Perfection and completeness. In other words, this is a test of the saints, the people of God, the true people of God, the ones who are closer with God, the one that when God is looking on the earth, they are the ones he sees. These are the light of the world. These are the salt for the world. Look, how can we stand and not fall in our generation? Well, Bible prophecy must happen, but not everyone will fall. That is the truth. Not everyone will fall, because in the book of Daniel, we'll come back to Psalms, but let's look at the Daniel chapter 11 verse 35. Let's read from verse 32, right? And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by what? Flatteries. But the people that do know their God shall be what? Strong and do exploit. I like this. Verse 33. And they that understand among the people shall instruct many. So you need to have understanding. In the last days, you need to have understanding. This is what I've been teaching you all this while. It's as if God knew where the message was going, right? So if you have understanding, then you can instruct many. This is bearing fruit. Yet they shall fall by the sword and by flame, by captivity and by spoil many days. Now when they shall fall, they shall be hopping with a little help. Now when they shall fall, they shall be hoping with a little help. So not everyone will fall, but many shall cleave to them with what? Flatteries. Many shall be deceived. Okay? Many Christians will be deceived. That's the truth. Verse 35. And some of them of understanding shall fall, to try them and to purge and to make them white. How are they falling? Their fall is that their fruits were unfruitful. So even though many are aware that an Antichrist shall come, and when the Antichrist shall come, even though many shall be deceived, some people who are aware of what the Antichrist shall come and do, they have the wisdom, but they've not grown into understanding yet. So they will try to tell people that, hey, these are the Antichrist, these are the Antichrist, and all that. Their fruit will be unfruitful, because in attempt to make the people to wear the glorious garment, they will fail. You did not tell the people what they must go through. Don't expect the people to pass the test. So even to the time of the end, because it is yet for a time appointed. So that is what we see in the Revelation, that he will overcome the saints. You can read all this. It's right here. Verse 36. And the king shall do according to his will, and he shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods. See, all the things in heavens, all the dwellers of heavens, and shall prosper till the indignation be accomplished, until all is completion, the 70 years. So what is the purpose of this the 70? Perfection and completeness. But here some people will not be able to where the glorious garment, number 7, perfection. Some people will not be able to be perfected their end. Some people will not be able to be purged during this period. So in terms of their sin, right? In terms of their sin is purged, right? Okay. And to make them white. Can you see? So there was no perfection in their fruit, because you never prepare the people for what is to come. Now here is the 666 in the verse 38. But in his estate shall he honor the God of forces, and a God whom his father knew not shall he honor with what? Gold and silver, and with precious stones and pleasant things. Okay, so money over God. Now back to the Psalms 119 verse 161. It starts with Shin. This is the Hebrew letter Shin. I have checked it. You can also check it. It's fire. Okay, the God of fire, or the lake of fire, or destruction. Princes have persecuted me without a cause. The world government, the politics, the realm of the politics, the kingdom of politics of this world is going to be in the hands of the devil to persecute God's people. It will come to pass. There is nothing anybody can do about it, and you will be right here. Oh yes, you would be right here. Okay, so Shin, this is a secret. Okay, how can you stand? But my heart stands in awe of your word. This is the only way to stand and not fall in that period. Shin. When they give you the commandment to worship the image of the beast, to take the mark of the beast, that you can have money to buy or sell, please remember lake of fire. There is a lake of fire ahead of you. Remember that. If you fear the fire in which Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were put into, then you will fall. Your heart will stand in awe of their word, not God's word. Their word. But when you rather fear the second death, which does not only kill the body but can kill the soul. There are two fears. Fear not the one that can kill your body and cannot kill your soul, which is the real you, but rather fear the second death. For when you shall die, it is capable of killing your soul. It is capable of snatching out the breath of life from your soul, and you become a dead soul, no more a living soul. So please remember Shin, remember fire, not their fire, but the fire of God. When you do not fear and they put you in fire, and the Lord is there in the fire with you, you will not be harmed. But when you fear the fire of God, yes, then when they tempt you, your heart will stand in awe of God's word. So pay heed, be obedient to God's word, not their word. Thank you so much for watching this video. This was the realm or the kingdom of the politics of this world. God willing, I shall see you in my next video, and we will go on to the next kingdom of the world. God bless you. I'll see you. Shalom.